Welcome to Disability Book Week Superstar Authors. I am your host, Kelly M. Likes. Let's set the scene. I am here in my Aunt Judy's favorite sweater, wearing a green dress in front of a wall of my favorite books. And if you can find, way over in the corner, I have a little yellow bee. And we are here today with Stephanie Locke. She is beautiful smile. She is waving. She's got beautiful blue earrings and a gold sweater. And I see lots of gorgeous flowers in the background. Just simply gorgeous. So, Stephanie, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy you're here. All right, tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, I am a school counselor. That's kind of the root of a lot of what came out with this. It's Goldfish Were Bluebirds, the origin of it. I'm a school counselor in the state of New York, and I actually work at a preschool setting. So, I've done that for the past 10 plus years now. I work at an integrated preschool setting, and I help the little kiddos ages 3 to 5 work on various different social, emotional, and behavioral goals. I use a lot of play therapy. I use a lot of bibliotherapy, book readings with them. So I'm actually so happy I discovered your site for that as well. And I'm a mom of three myself. I have a almost 7-year-old. Her birthday's coming up in a couple days, and I have 3-year-old twins.
Awesome.
We are a busy family, but I love my career. I love being a mom. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit about your book.
Sure. So my book is If Goldfish Were Bluebirds, and it's a story about self-acceptance. So it follows 5 animal characters that wish they were like other animals in order to have different types of traits, different types of qualities. I'll just real quick show because honestly, the images are some of the best parts. We have a goldfish who wants to be a bluebird so that he could get out of the ocean and fly way up high. We have a chipmunk who wants to be a tiger so that he could roar really loud and be fierce. We got a fun little horse that wants to be a pig so he can roll around in mud all day. We've got a turtle that wants to be like a cheetah because obviously turtles are quite slow and cheetahs are quite fast. One of a lot of people's favorites, we have a spider that wants to be more like a ladybug so that people won't be afraid of it. Someone termed that the spider bug for me, and I love that. So I use that now. And then the second half of the book comes around and says, you know what? All these animals realize they no longer want to be like the other animals because they learn to recognize their own special attributes, their own special characteristics, and what makes them so unique. So it's just a really good, heartwarming story. At the end, there's a catchy phrase that I use for my sensory bottles that I do at events. It says, I love me for me. So we have a little sensory goldfish bottle that people now love and adore and come to know in the area. And I also just have all the kids repeat it after any school events I do, assemblies, that sort of thing. And it's just the meaning of the book, really. I love me for me, no matter what adverse situations we might be struggling through, no matter what our own insecurities are. And we all have them, right? Kids have them, adults have them even. That's one of the best things about it. I've had adults read it, and at the end, they said it's brought a tear to their eye to just remind themselves too how special they are. I always tell people in the world we live in now, there's increased social media use, right? We have a lot more recognition and identifying of disabilities. So there's a lot more of that happening now that people are going through. There's a lot more mental health diagnoses coming through. I myself had a history of anxiety, depression, all that jazz. I could go on. But another cool thing about this is it was written during postpartum for me, a really severe piece of postpartum anxiety and depression. And I love now telling people that because it normalizes it more. We don't really talk a lot about it. We do a little more now in society, but not as much as I think people think we should, which is true. But B, it's just such a cool fact that it does remind me when I look at it, even that you can be going through just such the hardest thing in your life, but you still have so much light and so much strength about you. There's always more good than bad. I try to tell people that a lot, no matter what's happening, no matter what you're feeling insecure about, there's more good than bad, and you still have so much strength left. So at a point in my own life where I was feeling truly at my lowest in many different ways, physically, mentally, emotionally, I still was able to come up with this beautiful idea. So it's kind of a cool story behind it too.
That is awesome. So, all right, tell me, how did you go from a thought, an idea, to holding the book in your hand? What was your process?
So again, for me, I kind of had just that light bulb moment where in the middle of the night, it was 2 or 3 a.m. I thought of the idea, and I've been someone that since I was a child, I've loved poetry writing. So it has been a passion of mine. But I thought of this idea and I, of course, wrote it down right away on my phone. And I just kept coming back to it. A lot of what you see in this book is honestly the original thoughts and the original, ideas and stanzas that I came up with. And then over time, months and months, I really honed in on, okay, let me edit this to be a little more sophisticated. But for me, that's what it was all about. And it was about not forcing the process, not pushing the process, but just letting it flow to me, taking breaks in between because, how we view something one day might be different the next day. New ideas pop in your mind as you give things time and space in between. I gave it to a couple different editors, and every time I did that, I would get new little tweaks or edits or suggestions here or there. So it's really the culmination of patience and just making sure the end product was what I wanted it to be. And I can wholeheartedly say that's true with this book. So I'm proud of that.
That is awesome. Well, what advice would you give to somebody else who might be interested in writing a book?
I would say definitely to just be patient above all else. I think a lot of people, I have people even ask me this now, like, well, what do I do first? Or how do I do it? What should I do? And you think that it's a little bit of a quicker process, I think, when you haven't done it before. And once you go through it, you realize it is a bit time consuming for a good reason. You want the finished product to really be something that stands out and lasts, a long time for people to read and come back to. So just give it time, give it patience, reach out, form connections. I think for me, I was heartbroken because I reached out and started working with one company who ended up going a different route, not because they didn't love the book, they loved the book, but they could no longer take fictional work, which technically it is. So because of that, I was just heartbroken thinking, oh, it's over now, but because of the new path I chose eventually to become an indie author and just publish it myself, I actually kept a lot of the original pieces that, in a way, they were trying to tweak and change. So sometimes you think something's going bad in the moment, but trust the process. It comes back around eventually. Yeah, talk to people who have done it already. There's lots of different avenues these days for publishing and companies out there. And just know that you have to, as hard as it is at times, keep up your own passion about it because that passion and your belief in yourself and your topic and your book has to be higher than whatever other people's reaction to it is at first, right? So it might be like you're getting some good reaction at first, but that's going to dissipate if you don't continue to convince them, hey, this is a great book. This is worthwhile. Kind of like fake it till you make it. I say that because not that the book itself isn't great, but you have to convince people of that. And that's really what I've done. There were times when I was like, I know this is powerful, right? Like, I know this is the best message. I don't know if other people are going to understand that though, unless I continue to just convince them and kind of be annoying in the beginning. Like, hey, read my book, share my book, all that. And eventually the trickle effect of that is success and more success than what it is in the beginning. So don't give up on yourself. Keep going. There's going to be lulls. That's fine. This is such a learning process for me as well. I'm only 2 years into it. So I know a lot more than I did, but it's a learning process and let it be fun still.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right. It is
Mm.
my favorite time of the interview. Will you please share with us a part of your book?
Absolutely. So I think honestly, as much as I love the rhymes in the beginning, comparing the animals, I'll keep that a surprise because that's really fun to read with the kiddos. They love to guess what each animal is trying to become. But I'm going to read the last 2 pages because that's really the most important moral, of course, of the story. So try to show you the picture there. We often see things we don't have in life and want them. It is true. And while it's okay to want for more and make changes to become the very best version of you, sometimes we want to be something else altogether because we believe our view in life would be so much clearer. But the best person you actually get to be in this life is the one already looking back at you in the mirror. You are special, you are smart, you are brave and sometimes sad. You are loving, you are kind, and you are sometimes very mad. There are many things to feel and ways that we can be. Just always remember this phrase and say it over again. I love me for me. The end.
I love that. Thank you very much. Stephanie, thank you for sharing. Thank you for putting together something that is so beautiful. Do you have any final words you'd like to part with?
Just thank you as well for this opportunity to share it out. This is an example of what I was talking about, making connections and speaking to people that believe in what you believe in to spread a message about something. And thank you for your organization because, like I said, I can't wait to, use it more with the children that I service as a counselor and to tell their parents about it too. It's really important.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a Disability Book Week Superstar author. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.